Welcome back. City Power says some Johannesburg residents will be without power until Monday. This is due to a surge in cable theft. The utility says vandalism of infrastructure has specifically increased this festive season. The affected areas include Randburg, Roodepoort, Joburg's inner city and Lenasia. For more on this, we are now joined by the acting City Power media manager, Robinson Nqola. Robinson, a very good morning to you. Tell us about what you've noted over the festive season when it comes to cable theft.
Good morning, Aldrin, and the viewers of Newzroom Afrika. So over the festive season, and in fact, perhaps slightly before the festive season began, we noticed a worrying trend of cases of cable theft and vandalism in and around the inner city service delivery center. And we've had a lot of cases of outages which were caused by those incidents of theft and vandalism. And now we're actually sitting with one of those prolonged outages in and around the Joburg CBD, Marshalltown, and Selby. And it was also sparked by acts of vandalism. This occurred in our underground tunnels in the inner city.
Yeah, and with those underground tunnels, do you have any CCTV cameras there that are able to alert officials if anyone is underground?
Yeah, look, we have revised our security strategy, and some of the new initiatives that we're going to bring about, which obviously include the involvement of police, would be the usage of technology. As things stand, we do not have CCTV footage in and around, because we're talking about a network whose length is about 5,000 kilometers long, and so we're still working around making sure that we identify spots where these manholes are targeted, and we use our resources, which are limited, to best possible use. And so we are working on ensuring that we infuse the use of technology in monitoring those tunnels and the vicinity around those areas.
Yeah, because the question is that what happens going forward, and the thing about it is now it is the festive season. And what is it about the festive season, do you think, from the information that you have at your disposal, that makes these cables more vulnerable to being stolen by cable thieves?
Yeah, look, it's as I've indicated, these crimes occur throughout the year. You will recall that earlier this year we had an incident where we lost, I think, Braamfontein substation due to a massive fire incident which occurred, and that outage took weeks to reinstate. Yeah. And you also remember that I think around October we sadly lost two technicians who were there to respond to another case of cable theft and vandalism. And so this is not unique to this particular season, but perhaps the other issue that one notes around this time is that as people start making their trips for the festive seasons, I mean, if you walk around the CBD now, it's a lot emptier than it generally is around the year, and so it's perhaps easier for criminals to target this season because communities are not there to help us monitor these criminal activities. And so going forward, to your point, we have called upon the law enforcement officials to at least avail additional resources to help us man these infrastructure. You will recall that our CEO had actually written to the National Police Commissioner to speak to that particular point because we are in the business of providing electricity services. Security, it's the task of law enforcement agencies. We are doing our best with the resources that we have. But it's important to note that the money that we're using to acquire services of private security could actually go towards, reinvesting in our own network and making sure that it's more effective and efficient. But because we've got this mammoth challenge of cable theft and vandalism, we cannot just sit back and hope that those who are tasked with the work of securing these essential infrastructure will do their part. And we're not saying that they are not doing nothing at all. They are. In fact, you will have noticed that in the last quarter of the 2023-2024 financial year, we arrested about 132 people, and we've also made additional arrests between then and now. And that is through the collaboration that we have with the South African Police Service and JMPD. But we are calling, or at least asking, that where possible, they should just assign a few resources, especially in areas that are considered hotspots.
Yeah, and sometimes we find that City Power employees themselves are implicated in these syndicates relating to cable theft. But I want to conclude the conversation also in this particular aspect, and that is the kingpins, the end users or the end purchasers of these cables. Has the city been able to get to the bottom of who they are?
Yeah, look, the point around the involvement of our internal staff members, it's something that we have taken very, very seriously. You will have noticed that in the past few months, we've made a lot of arrests, and most of those arrests include some of our own employees and colleagues. And this is because we understand that a syndicate of this nature cannot function healthily without at least internal collaborators. And so we've actually strengthened our own internal control measures to make sure that we flag these bad apples. But to the point around how are we then dealing with the kingpins, over the past few months, through this collaboration that we have with the law enforcement agencies, we've conducted raids across different scrap metal yards, and we've made a lot of arrests around there. And some of the people who have been arrested, we are pleased to say that they have actually been convicted. And so it's something that requires constant monitoring and obviously working with communities, because these people live in our own communities, and it is the information that we get from them that often leads us to apprehending these criminals.
Okay. And then finally, in conclusion, looking at this particular incident now, the one where areas such as Randburg, Roodepoort, and the Joburg inner city have been affected by this cable theft in terms of power supply. Is it clear from your strategy and also the restoration of the power that on Monday, indeed, the power will be back? But do you have any indication around what time residents in those areas can expect the power to be back?
Yeah, look, after that incident which occurred on Sunday evening, we've managed so far, as we speak, we have about 70% of, we have about 70% of customers who are back on, and that's thanks to the hard work of our technicians who've been working, over and above what they were asked to do. And yesterday, we managed to install, test, and bring back about 6 cables. So we're only left with 6 additional cables, and the team is confident that by over the weekend we should have completed at least installing those cables and having conducted tests, so that by Monday we're able to reinstate full supply to all affected customers or residents.